Nissan has a treat for us. They are unveiling the Nissan Z Proto 2 weeks from now on September 15th. And in today's video, we'll break down the trailer for the Z Proto and the launch page. We'll also sift through the renders and recent rumors of the iconic Japanese sports coupe. And lastly, I'll take a stab at price, performance, and when we're likely to see the Z in showrooms. Welcome back, Luxurious Fleet. If you're new, my name is Kirk and this channel is dedicated to covering the latest in Japanese and Korean autos. Subscribe, hit the bell icon so you won't miss any of my breaking news and reviews. So over here at the Nissan press room, the next Nissan Z is coming and we're gonna break down this trailer. There you go, 50 years of passion. I feel like this whole video, well, a large part of this video is taking a stab at the Supra because that's its #1 competitor. So 50 years of passion, that is alluding to when this vehicle came out around 1969, 1970, which has about an 8-year head start on the Supra when that came out in 1978. So shot #1, here we go. So this is the first 4 generations of the Z. You have the 240Z up top, that came out in 1969. Then you have the 280ZX, which came out in 78. This bad boy here, the 3rd generation, was the first 300ZX that came out in 84. And then my favorite Z car of all time, the 2nd generation, or the 4th generation total, but the 2nd generation 300ZX came out in 1990. There you go, a sports car developed in Japan, taking another shot at the Supra. We know the Supra is built in Austria of all places as a team up with BMW. So yes, I think people who like Japanese sports cars are more excited, will be in a lot of ways more excited for the Z because it's more of a traditional Japanese car built in Japan, even though it might have some Renault pieces in it as well. Now we'll fast forward to the 30-second mark. Oh, the 300ZX, it looks so good. Now here are the next 4 generations, which we've already talked about the first 2 generations of the 300ZX here. Then we got the 350Z, that came out around 2002. And then the replacement, the 370Z, which we still have, which came out in 2009. Time to awaken, boys. And I think just Nissan did a great job with the filming of all these cars, all these Z cars coming down the hatch there. So pretty exciting stuff nonetheless. And there is our teaser image, which we'll break down a little bit more here in a second. And there's a link here that says, please join us at nissannext.com for the Z Proto digital unveil on Tuesday, September 15th, 7:30 p.m. That's Central Time. So that would be my time. So 7:30 p.m. Tune in. I will be streaming it. That's the plan. If all goes well, maybe I'll actually have a video that goes up at the same time. We'll see, but I do plan on streaming unless I hear back from Nissan. But let's head over to nissannext.com and we're greeted with this screen. This is their new logo. And yeah, of course, I'm going to click English here and then be a part of the new era. I already covered the Aria reveal. That was a lot of fun on the channel. And then over here, the Z Proto digital unveil. And I'm just going to click register for the event and you'll just click that, save the date. And what it'll do, it'll just put a calendar piece in your Google Calendar or your Apple Calendar. Well, it says September 16th here. Whoa. You see here, this says September 15th. Do you see that? September 15th, and then this says September 16th. So we'll see, but I'm pretty sure it's the 15th, and then maybe on the 16th they have some additional information, or maybe that's the 16th for Japan, because they're kind of like a day ahead of us here in the States. Now, we have that teaser image down here, and we really just see some vague reflections of the roofline, the hood, and the lights, but I use my Photoshop skills here, and I was able to overexpose the image and we can see a better outline of the vehicle. But actually, this has less detail, less information than what we saw at the original Z teasing, where we got this image, and this definitely gives us a lot more information, at least a little bit more visible information than that teaser image that we have for the upcoming event. Now looking at this render, I think this is pretty close to what it could look like. I don't know if we'll have door handles slotted into the body line of the vehicle, but I don't think this is going to be too far off. And I love the looks of the rear. It reminds me a lot of the 2nd generation 300ZX, which is my favorite ZX of all time. Now, when could we expect this Z? Now, we know the prototype, the Z Proto, is coming out in a couple weeks from now, but when can we actually expect the vehicle to come out? Well, recent rumors suggest that it might not be out till 2023. I think that's maybe a little bit too far out. We know how aggressive Nissan is being by bringing out all these I think it's like 18 models in like 12 months. It's something incredible that they're able to do, and they feel like they need to because they're in such financial trouble. They're like, oh, we need some buzz, some excitement, some fresh products to move some metal. But if we look back at the 350Z, the Z prototype, or the Z concept that came out in January 2001, we waited just 18 months, so summer of 2002, when the Z was actually in showroom floors. I expect it to be about a 2-year lapse this time. So we're getting the Z Proto here in September of 2020. And my gut feeling is telling me it's going to be out in the summer of 2022. But I don't think we'll know either way. I don't think Nissan will tell us at this unveil either. It will be interesting to see what they unveil to us. Of course, we'll see the visual design of it. And keep in mind that it's a prototype. And the fact that it's not a production car means that there could be a lot of changes on it. Now, what about powertrains? Because that is important on a sports car. Well, it's gonna have more than likely the top tier anyways, the 3-liter twin turbo V6 that we see in the Q50 Red Sport and the Q60 Red Sport Infinities, which has 400 horsepower and 350 pound-feet of torque. Now, I feel like that's designed to take on the Supra head-on, the Supra 3.0, but I think they're going to undercut that on price, which I'll talk about price here in a little bit. And then I think they're also going to have a 2-liter 4-cylinder with the VC turbo. Nissan loves this VC turbo. They're looking to implement it in more and more vehicles. I think we see a detuned version in the new Ultima, and then we also see a little bit more high power output in the QX50, and it can produce up to about 268 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque. Now, some of you on my channel have also been saying, yeah, Kirk, well, they also need to have a more budget entry level, a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder to get people into the Z lineup. And I think that makes a lot of sense. A naturally aspirated 4-cylinder could be entered in to compete directly with, let's say, the BRZ, the Toyota 86, and maybe the entry-level Mustangs and Camaros, even though those 4-cylinder Mustang and Camaros are mainly for retirees, where this car might be a little bit more for a little bit sportier appetite people, middle class from their late 20s to early 40s. I feel like more like the Z is maybe aimed for. But if they have that naturally aspirated, maybe around 200 horsepower, we could see that coming in. And I'm going to talk about pricing now. Maybe that entry level naturally aspirated inline 4, say it's 25 grand. The 2.0 VC turbo would come in around $35,000, and that's going to undercut the Supra by about 5 grand. And then the twin turbo V6, the full racing, or should I say the full performance version of this new Z, the 400Z. I think that's the first time I even mentioned that, the 400Z. And they could, oh gosh, a revelation. The new 400Z would be the 400 horsepower. The 300Z would be the VC turbo that's tuned up maybe close to 300 horsepower. And maybe they have a Z200 for the naturally aspirated inline 4. Holy cow, that's a revelation. Maybe it happens, I don't know, we'll have to see. But the full horsepower Nissan Z would be taking on the Supra head-on, but undercutting the price, maybe just a little bit, starting at $45,000 US, whereas the 3.0 Supra starts about $50,000 US. And the twin turbo V6 beats the inline 6 in terms of raw power output. The VC turbo 4-cylinder beats the Supra's 2-liter 255 horsepower power plant in terms of power as well. And then, yeah, it'll be very exciting and interesting to see what they're able to do with pricing, performance, packaging, etc. for the upcoming Z. And make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my impressions as soon as that video drops, because I would like to stream it and give you my impressions after that stream as well. Before I let you guys go, some other Nissan news. The Nissan Frontier, the redesigned one, should be here by the end of this year. Fingers crossed. So we got some new spy shots of the interior, so we're going to take a look at that and break it down. First of all, the steering wheel looks so much nicer than the old one. Definitely higher quality materials. It doesn't look like a bargain bin steering wheel. Finally have this larger touchscreen. It still looks fairly small, and maybe it has the option of a larger touchscreen. I mean, look at this big bezel. So you would expect maybe in higher trims, but we know this is a well-equipped model. See a heated steering wheel, parking assist, USB-C down here, heated seats. So this is a higher equipped Nissan Frontier here. I don't know what to think about this oh crap bar. I feel like that's going to take out room for potential buyers to spread their legs a little bit, but yeah. And then you can even see stitching here on the dash, so definitely going a little bit more upscale compared to the plastic interior of the current Nissan Frontier. But as we get more information on the Frontier, I'll definitely give it to you guys. And thank you so much for watching. If you guys haven't hit the like button, go ahead and do that. And I'm just excited for more Japanese coupes. Yes, we have the 8.6 and BRZ as, you know, true Japanese vehicles, but having a Nissan Z, a little bit more high performance version to take on the Supra is really, really exciting. And who would have thought that we, you know, in the 90s, we saw these vehicles kind of meet their end with popularity and just being offered here on the market. And now we have a Supra again, and we have another Z. And it's been a long time for the Z. The current one's been out since 2009. So having a new Z 12 years later, 13 years later, whenever it comes out, will be exciting. And I think we're ready for it. As long as we get that 6-speed manual. I didn't talk about transmissions, but we know we're gonna get a 6-speed manual, and automatic fans will get that 9-speed automatic transmission that we just saw slided into the Nissan Titan. Rest in peace, Titan, for Canadian fans. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. You know, I can talk forever. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves. Peace out. Peace out.